All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music issues and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you and just like me. All right, so Dan, who's a patron on the channel, and I don't typically do videos at this time of day. My videos are done earlier in the day and then released at a later time. That's how I normally do it. But I've decided that I needed to do another video today to talk about this Journey concert in Chile. All right. I haven't been paying that much attention to the live performances, just because I guess I'm just tired of the drama. And I figure, okay, here's a band on autopilot. They've got two guys on stage already who don't like each other. There's no chemistry out there whatsoever. And now you have a lead vocalist who is drowning out there. He's literally drowning out there. That's the best way to describe this. Like he can't keep up with the music. He's just struggling in a way that I quite honestly I've never seen a lead singer in a band have this much trouble throughout the entire show. Dan, who's a patron on my channel, sent me the link to this, and I will try to find that link and put it in the description of this video. First of all, I've loved this band since, age 15, right? So I've been with them since Departure, and I've been rooting for them to succeed. I was pretty excited when Arnel took over, because initially this was just almost a new band. The band had new life, and they had a front man who was athletic and seemed to be just taking advantage of his opportunity. And I try to be compassionate when I talk about this because, again, he's been there for 17 years. Journey Junkie said he was 40. I have Journey junkies who send me messages. Arnel was 40 when he joined Journey. So he's currently 57. He's been there 17 years. It's time for Arnel to retire. All right. Unless this was an aberration, but this show, which I don't know if there's a part 2 that I don't have, but I watched 60 minutes of carnage. This was wincing, and at one point I was thinking, just stop singing. Just let them play instrumental versions of the songs. Let Dean is back there on drums. Dean could sing. Okay? In this case, they should have stopped things and said, "Hey, let's have Dean sing. Arnel, we love you, brother, but tonight is not your night." But they let him keep going. This was like, we're not going to pull the plug. We're not going to stop this. We're just going to feed him to the wolves, essentially. So again, there are two problems with this. Number one, there's no acknowledgement that this was horrible. I mean, Arnel acknowledged on Facebook, but the guys in the band, and there's no chemistry out there. They're just trying to get through the set. I'm watching everybody, and it's very perfunctory. It's very like, okay, we're just going to do what we're supposed to do and hopefully get through this. But this was bad. I think the audience would have understood if you said, look, he can't continue. I mean, I've been reading reports all year long where, so-and-so comes out and they sing. I think it was Mellencamp who sang a couple of songs and couldn't sing anymore, or one of these fairly well-known classic rock people or bands. And, hey, tonight's not our night. Sorry. We'll give you a refund, rain check, whatever, and you can come back and see us another time. I mean, I sat on the couch watching this just stunned. This was not good, people. This was a different level of difficulty. And I'm hoping he didn't do damage to his vocal cords. I mean, I don't understand why you would leave him out there and have him keep going if he sounds like this. Who makes these decisions? I mean, Neil and John, you guys need to look at each other, communicate. John looked miserable out there. I've never seen a guy not smile so much. And Neil Sean, he's got his guitar. So it's like him and his guitar, and he's just in his own little world. The only person out there that looked like they were remotely into it was Dean Castronovo and maybe Todd Jensen a little bit. The rhythm section seemed to be in good spirits, but everyone else, either they were in shock, they were trying to ignore what was happening. I mean, again, I've liked this band since age 15, so this is rough to see this happen to this band. And I don't know what's next for Journey. Based on what's happened the last few years, you know what's going to happen? Probably nothing. Probably, we're just going to go on to the next gig. It'll be fine. He just needs some rest. We'll get things straightened out. But how do you straighten this out? If he's burnt out, if his vocal cords are shot, and you watch this and you're just going to feel horrible. I mean, I went from tears to frustration to anger. I went through a whole gamut of emotions watching this because I'm like, another great American rock band that can't perform anymore. You either need a singer or, you know, he needs surgery or something. He needs rest. I mean, this catalog is brutal. I mean, when he did Faithfully, I just felt as though it was almost surreal, like somebody just trying to belt their way through something. They know they can't do it. He might want to stop everybody and say, look, guys, I can't do this tonight. But the show must go on. So, I mean, I will post the link to this train wreck, and it's beyond a train wreck. And guess what, folks? I don't blame Arnel Pineda. I don't blame him. He's been doing this for 17 years. All right. He's had some difficulties for a few years, and they should have said, you know what? If we're going to keep going, either he's got to fix what's wrong, and if he can't fix what's wrong, then either we need to stop or find someone else to sing. That's all there is to this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be blunt. It's painful tonight to be sitting here doing this video. Arnel is a good guy. He's a good guy. It's a rags to riches story. He gave this band 17 years. There's no reason to feel like, oh, he didn't accomplish anything, or he didn't keep this band going. One of the reasons this band is still popular is because for the last 17 years, they've been out on the road and they've been recording music and they've been in the news. And yeah, there's been turmoil and arguments and disagreements, and that's kept the band in the news. But people want to, I hate to use this word, but they want to escape. You know, they want to escape. They want to go back. They want to feel like they felt how many years ago when this band was at their peak. And if you can't remind them of that era because you can't just do what you're supposed to do, you might as well go see a Journey tribute band. And I can recommend 2 or 3 of them that are really great. My old friends in Ohio are still plugging along. Escape. They're fantastic. Hugo's band, Voyage, is amazing. My other friend, Brian Cole, he's got this group called Resurrection. There's 3 right there that are putting in quality Journey performances every time they go out there. And they're much more authentic. That's my humble opinion. So in any event, folks, let's hope there's a resolution to this. By the way, just as another little observation, Jonathan Cain looked really depressed. He just looked really depressed playing keyboards. I don't know if it was Arnel or if it was his relationship with Neil or, Maybe he didn't want to be in Chile. I don't know, but he just did not look happy to be there. I think he knew what was happening, and maybe he didn't want this to keep going, and maybe Neil did. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with those guys anymore. I used to have more of a connection, but that connection, is kind of not what it used to be. But I'm going to dig a little bit and see if I can get more info. An interview with one of those guys would be really good right now, but that's not going to happen. I think they're supposed to go to Japan, right? Aren't they supposed to go to Budokan? I mean, oh man, pray for Arnel. Just pray for that guy, because he's going to be under attack. He's telling everybody that, if people vote him off the island, he'll go. Apparently, people are telling him to stay, which I thought would be likely, but I also thought there are a lot of Perry people out there and a lot of people that just never got on board with this to begin with, who might, do a nasty thing and say to go. I think he should just go on his own terms if he's going to go, or management should just say, "Hey, Arnel, look, sorry, bro, you're fantastic for many years, but we've got to move on." And it has nothing to do with Steve Perry at this point. It's just you're burnt out. Perry quit in his 40s. You're 57. Okay, so there's no shame in calling it a career at 57, being with one of the world's greatest rock bands for 17 years. There's no shame in that. It's quite an accomplishment. Very few people are going to do that in their life. So kudos to Arnel. All right. Adios, amigos. See you soon.